Welcome back to the Bills Bunker for today's the very first post-game show on this channel. And today I'm going to be breaking down the 27-17 victory for the Buffalo Bills over the now 3-8 Los Angeles Chargers. This was a great game all the way through for the Buffalo Bills, and there was some sloppy play in that second half. We'll get to that later. We're going to start off. We're going to go through the game, starting at the beginning. We're going to get into some of the biggest concerns throughout. Thank you, all you guys, for watching this video. Make sure you smash that like button, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time you're on here. What's up, Jeff? How's it going? Nice to see you in the chat. If you have any concerns about what the Bills just did today, drop it in the comment section and I'll address it, because I have some problems with what just transpired as well. But this game, we started on offense, and we forced 3-and-out the first drive defensively, and then on offense, we just we shot that ball downfield for Stephon Diggs early, and that started the penalties. The forced pass interference that got us deep downfield. Dawson Knox had his first touchdown of the season, and I'm going to show that clip for you guys because it was a beauty catch.
For Josh Allen.
That was a hell of a catch from Dawson Knox. Great play. Nice to see him actually contributing, because he hasn't been contributing much at all this season. And Dawson Knox, we all think he's got a lot of potential in Buffalo. And if he can make catches like that, he sure does. But we need to see it more consistently for sure, because that's been a big problem all season long with Dawson Knox. So great touchdown, great way to start the game. But the next drive, our offensive play calling got a little confusing. We called a quarterback sweep, and we left Gabriel Davis to block Joey Bosa. So we pretty much went unblocked, and we ended up losing 3 yards on 3rd and 1. We overcomplicated our play calling, and that happened a couple times in this game. On 3rd and 1, why not just give Zach Moss the ball to power up the middle? I mean, you can't leave Gabe Davis to block Joey Bosa. That's never going to go well. Joey Bosa was a disruptor all game. We knew it was going to happen, and we just didn't do anything to prevent that. That's coaching miscues. We need to address that. Going forward, we need to address finding out a way to shut down their superstars. Joey Bosa, he was a disruptor all game long, and we had no answer for him. Now on the third drive, another sack on Josh Allen, and Brian Winters looked really bad on this play. I'm sure you've seen it. Brian Winters looked silly, just didn't even block the guy. Josh Allen goes down. Later in the game, Cole Beasley had a passing touchdown, his first of his career. Cole Beasley, the quarterback, rapper, wide receiver, whatever you want to see him do, he can do it. Cole Beasley, look at this trickery.
The flip to Beasley.
Cole Beasley. I started him in fantasy this week. I picked him up off of Fantasy Wire, expecting him to have a big game receiving, but he had 2 receptions for 25 yards, and this passing touchdown contributed to my fantasy team's success this week. I showed the stats at the bottom of the screen here. They'll be scrolling throughout the show. It's a post-game show. So Cole Beasley, that passing touchdown, I love that. That was a nice way to trick the Chargers defense. And then, we called a screen on 3rd and 23 later in the game. Our screens, they work sometimes and they catch the other team by surprise, but when you do it too often, it gets predictable. And Brian Daboll's play calling, it can be great at times, but other times it is just very predictable. So going forward, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We need to make adjustments coaching for a full 60 minutes of a game. We can't just go out there with the game plan and be stubborn. We need to be able to make adjustments to their adjustments on the other sideline. But in this game, we got the ground game going. Both Devin Singletary and Zach Moss averaged over 6 yards per carry. That's great to see our running backs starting to get involved. Josh Allen also got involved in the run game. He had a huge rushing touchdown. And Moss and Motor, these guys, we're going to need them down the stretch. We're going to need a run game. I know that there's a lot of people, we don't really want to see a run game going, is what people are saying, but it's an important thing to have a ground game going later in the season. Games against the Steelers, the 49ers, we're going to need our ground game to get going to close out these tight games. And we needed it today, and it came through. But the biggest concern for me was the giveaways. Giveaways nonstop in the second half. 3 giveaways there. We had 2 fumbles lost, an interception. It was just silly mistakes that we're not going to be able to make any progress if we're just dropping balls like that. And we haven't seen that too much this season. Not too many silly giveaways, but I am calling them giveaways, not takeaways for the defense, because these fumbles were really bad. We just dropped the ball pretty much and we gave the Chargers the ball. That interception, that was a bad throw on Josh Allen's part. New subscriber here. How far do you think the Bills will make it in the playoffs? Well, thank you for the subscribe. Thank you for the subscription. Appreciate it. I think that we are going to go to the AFC Championship game. I think that is the goal. But if we play like we played in parts of this game, we're not going far at all. We might not even win a playoff game if we play how we played some of this game. We had our moments where we looked great, but there was other times where we were really bad. Really bad. I'm serious. Like, there's times where we just couldn't get anything going, and when we did, flags. We had 9 penalties for 85 yards. Can't have that happening. That's not something we can have happening. In games we've lost, we've had a bunch of penalties. If you combine all the losses, I think we have 200 or so yards in penalties. That's unacceptable. We had 3 giveaways and still came out with a win. If we hold on to the ball, we dominate. Absolutely. If we held on to the ball, we would have dominated. This game shouldn't have been 27-17. Should have been closer to 31-17. We should have had at least 30 points, held on to that football, scored a couple rushing touchdowns, and sealed that game earlier. Like I said, down the stretch, we're going to need to close these games out earlier. We're not going to be able to fumble. We need to hold on to the ball and play clean, fundamental football for a full 60 minutes. They aren't going to make it. Finns will win the division after Bills' performance today. Stupid comment of the day. Well, the Dolphins only beat the Jets 20-3, and I mean, Fins up nation, you know? Fins up nation. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. You just lost to the Broncos last week. Ryan Fitzpatrick's in for Tua. What's that tell you? What's that telling you? Yeah, I'm happy our defense stayed aggressive to the end as well. There was I don't know, our defense, we allowed 0 first half touchdowns for the 3rd time in the past 4 games. No touchdowns allowed in the first half in 3 of our last 4 games. The Seahawks game was the only game we allowed a touchdown in the first half out of our last 4 games. We held Arizona, New England, and now Los Angeles scoreless. Well, not scoreless, but without a touchdown in the first half. That's impressive. And, you know, it's the second half that kills us. It's been killing us all year long. and it's a struggle, but we got to clean it up. Love this channel, Sledge Hockey 101. We love you as well. Bill's Bunker, welcome to the Bill's Bunker. If you haven't been here before, make sure you hit the subscribe bell, hit the like button, smash it. I'm here as often as I can be, and I think that I'm going to be doing a post-game show going forward. I enjoy this. I enjoy connecting with you guys. And if you have any comments you want to say, anything you have to say, any questions, drop it in the comment section and I'll try to get to it by the end of the show. So I want to show, because I was talking about penalties being a major concern for me, I want to show kind of a funny little clip from Josh Allen. He had a penalty after a touchdown here.
Left side, diving for the pylon, and he got there.
That's funny. That's a penalty now. You can't even celebrate. Like, people are celebrating, doing other crazy things, and you spike the ball because it's in front of the guy. It's a touchdown. Who cares? That's funny. That's a funny touchdown celebration. That's a funny penalty. Screw it. Whatever. Getting to the comments section here. Let's do the math. If the Bills play like this against Steelers, 49ers, and Pats, they lose. Finns can edge it out with wins against Bengals, Pats, and Las Vegas. The Steelers aren't too scary because the Steelers really haven't played anybody. I think that we should be able to beat the Steelers. It's going to be a tough one, but I think we beat the Steelers. We give them their first loss of the season. 49ers are starting to get healthy. We'll see. We'll see next Monday. I think that that's a game we win. But the Patriots, they're going to give us the best performance they have. I think we win that as well. The Dolphins, I don't think they're edging us out. They're still 2 games behind us. I don't see it happening. They're going to need to win that Week 17 game, and I think by that time we might have already clinched the division. Do I think Stephon Diggs is a top 5 receiver? Well, just look at the stats. The answer is yes. He came into this game second in targets, second in receiving yards. Stephon Diggs is absolutely a top 5 receiver in the NFL. He's a top 3 route runner at least. I haven't seen someone run routes like him since Antonio Brown in his prime. Stephon Diggs is a special receiver. He's going to break Eric Mold's single season record for receiving yards and targets, I think. So, yes, Stephon Diggs is a top 5 receiver. Stephon Diggs for MVP, that movement's real. Look at the Diggs effect and what it brought to the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen, his progression, his leaps this year, they've been huge. And a big part of that is due to Stephon Diggs coming into the Buffalo Bills organization and having a clear chemistry with him. So back to the concerns, because this was something that really set me off. I posted a video about it just before this. The late game scares this game were wild. Wild late game scares. We had it, the Hail Murray play. Oh, don't get me started on that. Against the Cardinals, that last second dagger to the heart. We almost had that again this week, and you think we would have learned. We would have learned from our mistakes, but no, this is what we do. I'm going to show you guys a clip, and there was more than just this play too. Cheers. So yeah, right after that heartbreaking week 2 weeks ago, we have a bye week. We're able to come into this game recharged with a lot of motivation and the time to fix things up. You think we would fix that up, our prevent defense, but no. The play before that came back on a flag, and it was a touchdown. This play, another Hail Murray. Hail Mary, whatever. It's all the same. 3 straight attempts on the deep ball have been caught, whether it be a flag called back or not. That's bull. We need to clean our shit up because that's really bad. We're going to get in trouble going forward. That's horrible. Our coverage needs to be a lot better back there. Yeah, I don't know how that catch happened either. I mean, we've missed tackles on Herbert and Murray the last 2 weeks, and we're just not swatting the ball out before it gets into the receiver's hands. It's a mess back there. It really is. Our defense did save us today. Some major stops. And like I said, 0 first half touchdowns for the third out of 3 of the past 4 games. We've had 0 first half touchdowns against us. Our defense is stepping up, and it's getting a lot better. Closer to the 2019 form, but it's not quite there. As you can see by that last play we just showed, we're not getting enough consistency from this defensive unit to be into our 2019 form. Yes, these guys need to start playing the ball, not the player. Absolutely. We're playing the player. We're not knocking the ball down. We're just trying to cover the guy man up, and it's not working. We got to swat that ball out before it gets there. But we held Keenan Allen in check today pretty well. He was held to 4 receptions for 40 yards and a touchdown. And Tre'Davious White also came away with a pick. So a big game for our secondary. I was just ranting about how that was weak play, but they had a pretty big day other than that with the pick, and our defense came to play. We won this game 27-17 because we got a good effort on both sides of the ball. We got the ground game going. We got the Chargers held in check on our defensive side of the ball. We did good. Absolutely. Not even a question. There is no debate about this. Josh Allen is definitely playing better than Lamar Jackson right now. And it's not just the play calling, their offensive play call. I think it's also the better quarterback is looking like the better quarterback. The unsportsmanlike call on Josh was total BS. I've literally seen other players do the same things this season. Yeah, I have. We've both seen this, right? We've all seen other players spin the ball and get away with it. It's just our Buffalo Bills. We're going to have to beat the refs too sometimes. I like that attitude. We're going to be the best. We're going to be the best of the rest going forward this year. I like it. I like it. I like the confidence a lot. So, what was your biggest concern about today's game? Let me know in the comments section below. I'm going to try to post up as many as I can. But damn, we had some pretty nice plays this game. That Cole Beasley touchdown pass to Gabe Davis, that was a hell of a play. Brian Dable draws up some nice play designs, and I just don't get why sometimes he has these amazing play calls, and then the next drive he follows it up with like a weak quarterback sweep designed run that just gets blown up because the blocking scheme is horrible. I don't understand why everybody on this team seems to be inconsistent in some way, shape, or form. Yeah, that Zach Moss on sportsmanlike conduct too. Yeah, literally. Zach Moss has the ball after a first down. That's his celebration. He just drops it. He goes like that. Didn't even actually do that. And it's called for unsportsmanlike conduct. What the hell? Those refs were brutal. And those refs were the same refs we had during the Los Angeles Rams game. So take note of that. That was the same reffing crew as the Los Angeles Rams game when that bogus interception call was called on us and it wasn't overturned. You know, that first interception of Josh Allen's season. Please tell me you guys remember that. When has taking the guy's momentum to the ground been a holding call? Yeah, that holding call was stupid as well. Biggest concern was Josh panicking and throwing the ball when the pressure got bad. Yeah, that's something that comes with Josh Allen, honestly. He makes some seems kind of silly decisions at times. He holds on to the ball for way too long. I think that we just have to kind of accept that going forward. He's been sacked over 20 times this year, and it's not all on the offensive line. It's partially on the offensive line, but you hold on to the ball as long as Josh Allen does, you're going to get sacked more often than you aren't because more often than other quarterbacks because he's just holding on to the ball. And yeah, I had a heart attack when Josh got injured too. That was scary. The way he landed on his ankle, that looked super scary. It looked like it could have been bad. And just when he's in that position, he's wrapped up. I'd just like to see him go down and not play hero ball because him playing hero ball, it's great for one play, but it's going to hurt us in the long run. If he gets hurt, we're screwed. And then what what was with the play calling right after that? Did you also notice that right after Josh Allen was injured, we threw a Matt Barkley in there, and it's a passing play with no pass protection. Matt Barkley just gets destroyed. Like we just threw him into the fire to throw a pass instead of running the ball. That made no sense to me. There's a lot of head scratchers in this game, and we're lucky to have came away with the win. To be honest, the way we turned the ball over in that second half, we're lucky that the Chargers aren't a better team, and their 3-8 record shows why. Well, this game shows why they have a 3-8 record because they aren't unable to capitalize on their opportunities. They're like 10th. They're in the top 10 in yardage total offensively, but they can't score. They don't capitalize on the yardage. Yeah, and he gets right back out there like a million. Josh Allen, he's a tough guy. Josh Allen's a tough guy. He's always getting right back out there. He's a fiery leader. He leads by example for this Bills team. There's another concern I had on the defensive side of the ball, and it was the fact that we could not stop running back swing plays. This is where we need Matt Milano so badly. On so many occasions, Justin Herbert just dropped back and found Austin Eckler numerous times on these running back swing routes, and they just killed us. They went up the middle, they went down the sideline. It didn't matter. They could do what they wanted on those plays. The blocking, they executed those really well, and the Bills need to clean up. They need to find a way to cover short routes defensively because allowing those short routes and those yards after the catch rather, those are going to kill us down the stretch. So if you're watching this video, make sure you smash that like button and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I'm live here. I've also got some other things going on here. Question of the day here. Are the Bills a top 5 team in the league? Ooh. If there's no if about it. I mean, I want to say yes, but I don't think I can honestly say yes. You have the Chiefs. You have, it's pretty damn close. It's pretty damn close. That's a pretty damn close thing. I say we're top 7 for sure. It's just sometimes we don't look like a true contender. There's times where I believe in this team, but I don't know. I think we're close to 5 or 6. We're on the fringe of a top 5 team. Yes, I have high expectations for this team. I believe we're a real contender, but they're inconsistent at times. Defense just gets driven back sometimes. Our run game inconsistent. And like we just need to clean up a lot of things if I want to say we're a top 5 team every week. There's weeks where we look like the number 1 team in the NFL. We look like we can compete against Kansas City. And then there's games like the Titans game or the Chiefs game where we just don't look like contenders at all. I don't know. I think that my expectations for this team have not changed. Heading into the season, I said a 12-4 record would be our record, and I also said that we would make it to the not the AFC's, the AFC Championship game. And I still believe that these are both possibilities, but we're going to have to clean up things if this happens. Moss should be the RB1. Absolutely. Yes, Ricardo Green. I love this comment. Zach Moss. I've been a big fan of Zach Moss since he came out of Utah. He left that school as the all-time leading rusher in yards and touchdowns. Zach Moss has reminded me a lot of Ezekiel Elliott, and that's probably a comparison you haven't heard from anyone else. He's smaller, but he gets lost in traffic inside of the line of scrimmage, the area there, and then he just finds a way out of it. So we saw that today for the first time, really, and then he had that stupid flag right after. I think Zach Moss should be RB1 of this team, and that's why I picked him up off the fantasy football wire. Zach Moss, he's a special player. He's going to be great for this team going forward. Who do I think will go to the Super Bowl? What's my matchup? I think Kansas City will go from the AFC, if I'm being realistic. But don't look at me the wrong way on this. But I might sound like a bit of a homer too. The Bills have a legitimate shot at getting to that game because we have to just get to the AFC Championship game, and then from there anything can happen. Anything's possible. It's any given Sunday. The Chiefs have already beat us once this year, and it's really hard to beat a good team twice in a season because, there's a lot of tape, a lot of film, a lot of adjustments that are made. So the Bills could pull an upset against Kansas City in the AFC Championship game and go to the Super Bowl. I'm not going to make that prediction, though. I'm going to say that the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl from the AFC. And from the NFC, I'm liking Green Bay. Green Bay Packers, led by Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers against Patrick Mahomes. That would be a dream Super Bowl matchup. I'd be rooting for the Packers. But, I mean, that'd be a great Super Bowl matchup. I think that the Packers, they're middle of the pack defensively. Their offense, they need some more weapons. But if they pick up like Kenny Stills or something, they won't because they don't like helping Aaron Rodgers. But the Packers could do it. I don't think the Saints are going to do it unless they get Drew Brees back. We'll see what happens with his injury. But the NFC is kind of more of a wild card than the AFC. The AFC, there's like these 3 or 4 teams that actually have a shot at it. I count the Bills in those 3 or 4 teams that actually have a shot at making it to the Super Bowl. It's going to be a tough road, though, because we're going to have to beat some good teams, and the AFC is the better conference out of the 2 this year. And as I said earlier, if you're watching this video, make sure you smash that like button. Hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I'm on the Bills Bunker. I'm going to start doing some live shows, a live post-game show every Sunday, maybe next week, Monday night actually. We've got 4 primetime games coming up this month. And there's a lot of excitement coming up for the Bills this year. Is Allen a top 3 QB in the NFL right now? Absolutely. I think he is. I absolutely think he is. He's been playing like it. He had those 4 off weeks when he had his injured shoulder. starting the season, he had those 4 great weeks when everyone was talking about Allen for MVP. Those discussions have died down, but I believe that Josh Allen is a top 3 quarterback in the league right now. I think you have Mahomes, Wilson, and Rodgers and Allen. So he's a top 3, top 4 quarterback in the NFL for sure. There's a lot of good quarterbacks in the league, but I think Josh Allen's just as good as any of them. He does a lot of good things that there's other quarterbacks that can't do things Josh Allen can do. Josh Allen's special. He's a fiery leader, he leads by example, and he's going to be the reason that the Bills either fail or succeed in the playoffs this year. Wilson, Mahomes, Rodgers, Watson. A lot of good QBs in this league. Yeah, I'd say Josh Allen over Deshaun Watson. I'd take our guy Josh Allen over Deshaun Watson. And Russell Wilson wouldn't be good for this team. Josh Allen, I'd rather have no quarterback in Buffalo than Josh Allen. Josh Allen played at Wyoming in the cold weather a lot, and he just seems to be a Buffalo kind of guy. Buffalo loves him. He loves the city of Buffalo back. But that's really all I've got for this show tonight. And if you've got any final comments or questions, make sure you drop them in the comment section. I'll try my best to get to them. But I think that's all I've got, and I'm signing off until next week. So this is Jake from the Bills Bunker. Stay tuned for some more content coming out this week. I'll be reading some stupid comments, maybe from some Chargers fans, some of their predictions. I had a prediction from a Chargers fan that they said they were going to get 49 points on us this week. That didn't happen. So there will be some stupid comments being posted. Stay tuned for those. And I'm going to try to make a better presentation for this show going forward. I've got a lot of great things in store for the Bills Bunker. So stay tuned for next week's show. I've got a couple more comments here. It seems like AJ Klein has been breaking out these past couple weeks. Absolutely, it does. You're right. Spot on with that comment. AJ Klein has taken a massive step this year. Here, in the past couple weeks, he has more sacks than he had last year total. AJ Klein, I think we found out how to utilize AJ Klein properly. You know, AJ Klein played in Carolina under Sean McDermott in his defensive scheme, and he brought in Klein for a reason. Klein is great blitzing the edge, getting to the quarterback, forcing a fumble. That's what AJ Klein's good at doing. But when you drop him back into pass coverage, he can be an absolute liability, and it just doesn't work out. That's why we need Matt Milano back, and hopefully we get him back for San Francisco because they're starting to get healthy as well. That should be a great game, and I'm excited to do a post-game show for that next week. So I'll see you guys then, and I hope you guys are in the comment section next week as well. Thank you for watching the Bills Bunker post-game show. See you guys next week.